Welcome back to Sage and Stone Homestead. My name is Heather. This is Megan. Hi. Who do you have?
This is Maggie.
Oh, goodness. So Megan has a YouTube channel, Megan and her husband, GWP Homestead, but you haven't been posting for a while.
No, my husband surrendered to the ministry and got a full-time, or well, bivocational pastor job, and we have 3 kids and a homestead. And
the kids all have activities.
And something had to give.
Yeah.
So there's still plenty of videos up if you want to go watch them.
Yes, and there's also new babies, like a lot of them, a bunch of girls, and I'm so jealous.
I only had 3 boys this year out of my 14
kids. Oh my god, that's like basically the opposite. We had 17 and 5 were girls. So I had 12 boys.
Now we did lose one to tragedy. Well, I lost 2 girls to tragedy too.
Yeah.
Goats will lay on babies. They do not care.
Yeah, some of them. I know, that's sad. But look at her, mini Nubian. The same parents as Flip. You guys remember him from last year, which I did get his papers in.
Yeah.
So that's good. I can register his babies. Yeah. But look at her with this moon spot.
Y'all remember Flip? This is his full sibling.
She's precious, and she does not need disc budding. Megan came and brought me some babies today to disc bud. I won't be showing that on camera. I know that that's not everyone's favorite, but we have to look at these babies. They're so darn cute. They're all girls. So this one, what's her name?
This is Maggie.
Maggie's not for sale.
No, Maggie is dead.
Who else do we have in here?
Ooh. This is Delilah.
Oh, she's got blue eyes.
She is blue eyes.
And cold.
Has moon spots.
Yes, she's the trifecta.
She is the trifecta.
Oh. Look at those. You can tell her teats are long already.
Yes.
Look at that.
Her and her sister both are already showing good long teats.
Wow, just like Mama. Mm-hmm. That's why we wanted to use Flip, the nice long teeth. And you are also polled, ma'am. No signs of horns right there. She doesn't even have that giraffe bump, really.
Yeah, hers are small.
Oh, precious. So we're not sure that any of these Nigis have horns. I mean, probably. Look at her ear.
This is Friday, because she was born on a Friday night, and her mom was Sunny Sunday, so she got to be Friday.
How do their ears wind up like that, Megan?
This is the second time this mom has given me a little curly ear like this. And she was a single, so it's not that she was crammed in there, because a lot of times when you get curly ears, it's because they're crammed in there, or it's these long-eared Nubians, but we just...
Do you think it'll stay? That's really intense.
It is, and she's 3-ish weeks old, so she should have, like, flattened.
That's so cute, though. It feels, like, really rigid.
It does. And it feels like where this has the curve, it feels like it's going to stay. So we will see.
That's so funny. So we're still not sure.
She is a mystery.
I don't see a swirl up here, but she's got pretty...
That's a big giraffe poll for me.
I know. We've got to shave them and kind of see what we think. Huh, baby? There's actually 5 babies in there. I know they're hard to see right now. Look at that one.
But these 2 are sisters.
Oh, so cute. Look at all the white.
Those ice blue eyes against that white is gorgeous.
So cute. And these guys are registerable, right?
These 2 are not.
Not these ones?
Well, the other 3 are. 2 mini and then 1...
ADGA and IG. Look at you. Oh, precious, precious.
And Friday is out of Possum, which is Winnie's sister, who was their dad? Nefarious.
Yeah. And then so this one, we're kind of seeing a swirl right here, right where the horn bud is, and I can feel a teensy little bud in there. You said they're about a week and a half old. Sometimes the does take forever to develop horn buds.
Especially with Minnie, who doesn't have those strong horn genes.
Yeah, and with this one, I'm feeling, this is Minnie's as well?
Yep.
Maybe we'll get them just in case, because we are not sure if Minnie is polled or not. Some goats can be really hard to tell, and I recently learned that you can have a polled goat that grows skurs. It's actually a thing. And I have one in the barn. And if you have heard of this and have any experience with this, I would love to hear how your goat turned out. Are the skurs weird? Do they grow in weird patterns? See, this is Grady. I've just put him in the weaner pen. Grady is polled, but do you see those little horns? I mean, he's even starting to bleed a little bit because they've been button heads in here. But he has little skurs growing on his little giraffe pole mounds. It's really weird. So yeah, here's Megan and her babies. Time to play with goats this afternoon, huh? What's so interesting about hides sometimes is you can see an underlying pattern on the animal that does not come through on the fur. See that? This fur is like a brownish black, gorgeous color. Really excited to be able to work with it. But look at the skin. Isn't that weird? Good morning, gorgeous. Were you keeping the Maypops warm? Oh, he's got frost on his fur. Oh, that's so funny. He's white, so you're not gonna be able to tell. Good morning, Nuggie. This black tote here. Definitely frost. Now, see, these are the cherry trees that are in the perennial garden. I've got this little one here. These were the Romeo and Juliet cherry. I got them from fastgrowingtrees.com, and this is the most blooms that we've had ever. I think this is their 3rd year in our garden. And because they're a little bit higher, the cooler air will settle lower. I mean, I'm seeing that they have some dew settled, but I'm not seeing that they've actually frozen or frosted. My temperature on my app says 33. So I mean, it's close, but you know, the sun's on them now. No, sir. No. You're a good boy. So we'll see. I would really like... Dude! No. And so we'll see. I was hoping for some cherries this year. I have seen plenty of times where people will take a bed sheet and throw them around their trees on a night where it's going to frost, and they say the trees are fine. Here's the thing, I have tried that a bunch of times. I've thrown a sheet over plants so many times, and it's never worked for me. And part of it is if you have the leaves of the plant touching the sheet or the frost fabric or plastic or whatever you have put over them, that cold frost that settles on the outside of that sheet does go straight through that fabric or plastic or whatever and affect that leaf. It's like if there's not an air pocket, there's no kind of insulation. But that only works if you're frosting above freezing. In my experience, if you're going to freeze, the frost blanket doesn't really provide enough of like a buffer because the air is still cold for something like a tree that's up off the ground. Something in ground is a little bit different because the ground itself can hold heat in, even if it's just a couple of degrees. But I've never gotten it to work for something like that. So if you have tips or insight, I will absolutely hear it. And before anybody worries about Buster having frost on him, the fact that the frost settled on him and he didn't actually get wet means that he's well insulated. if his body heat was leaving his body, he'd be like soaked to the bone, and he's not. He's insulated, and that's why the frost was able to settle on his fur. Yes, you're a good boy. Are you jealous or something? Are you jealous? Good morning, boys. How you doing, Biscuit? Hey, babe. Oh, are you scared of the dog? He won't hurt you. He won't hurt you either. No, good morning. Good morning, pigs. Good morning. Hey, boys. They're still cozied up in their barn. Yeah. Do you need medicine? Yeah, I think you might. Snot is a little bit opaque. That was not a great cough. Hey, how are you? They can sometimes get allergies this time of year, but that's a little bit different. Ruckus is the reason we can't just use this little latch system to hold the gate. We've got to make sure that we clip it, because you will figure that out. Nugget, come. Good boy. Good boy. Yes, good. Good boy. Yes. Levi stuck 2 more sheep and goat panels up on the lane the other day. I didn't realize I had 2 more of these, but I guess we had them on a trailer. So that's nice. Each one of these is 16 feet long, and we have 4 of them. So that's a good amount of trellis. I think he has a plan to come out today and top off these beds with the soil that I'm going to plant in. What are you doing, sir? Looking for dandelions. You boys enjoying this platform? I'm so glad. Got Mooch's medicine. Hey, sir, you don't need this today. The little goats are easier to catch and treat. Somebody like Farrell, I've given him meds in his shoulder before, but it's really best if I have him in a more confined space. Mooch is really little. You're all right. Standing in here too, I can smell a little bit of ammonia. It's probably time to put down some lime and some more bedding. I am trying to build up a little bit of pack in here so that we can make sure their feet stay dry during mud season. This really hasn't been a bad mud season at all. I have heard that we're about 2 inches behind on rain that we normally get. I'm not super sad about it because mud season is not my favorite. But normally this time of year it'd be all mucky around here and they would need a place to stay dry, which is part of the reason we have that platform in there. I'll get some more shavings, and I just got some lime in the mail yesterday. So perfect timing. Say, my name is Ruckus and I'm a problem. My name is Ruckus, and I'm a problem. Five popcorn bunnies in here. Well, that Foster's doing really well. Can I count yours? She's gonna be defensive. Oh, good girl. Promptly only has 4 left. 1. 2. 3. And 4. This one looks a little bit thin for my liking. I'm gonna choose to watch it, but if it's thin again tomorrow, I'll probably put it on her. It's not like deathly thin, but this guy isn't getting as much milk as the other ones. Miss Promptly here had 9. 2 were dead on arrival, so she was left with 7. And then 3 days in a row, I came out and she had 1 kit out. And I had actually given her a little bit more hay in her nest box because she had eaten it all down. And so it wasn't because there was so much hay in the nest that the baby fell out. I think what's happening is she's getting there and nursing and then quickly jumping out, and a baby was still attached to her after she jumped out of the nest. And rabbits, they're not really smart. They won't put their baby back in the nest once they get out of the nest. And for 3 days in a row, she lost a baby to the cold, so she's down to 4. I also told you guys that I would speak to the breeder that I just got this silver fox trifecta from. If you're local, it's Revolver Ridge Rabbitry. He's been really awesome to work with. He said that he free feeds his bunnies all the time, even his breeders. He never doesn't have pellets in their hopper, and they never get overweight, and they always have awesome litters. And so that's pretty nice for me to know, is that maybe the silver fox are not as prone to getting overweight and having issues with that. He also says that he breeds his bunnies around 7 to 8 months, which is later than what I've been told locally. What we have around us is a lot of Amish farms and things, and they may do things a little bit differently, but we're gonna stick to what the breeder says that he does so that we can have as much success as he does. You're hippity hoppity this morning, sir. Do you like the cold weather? Isn't he pretty? Good morning, Paul. He said, "What is that?" You can eat that.
Square feet in here, almost.
And do you know where the gate's gonna go?
Right here.
Cool. So on that corner?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the best spot. Are you gonna be doing the angle?
Yeah, I gotta sort of figure out how to do it because he braced them like this.
Right, with the nubbies.
So, and it's gonna have to be like this. Got figured out.
Okay.
So I'll have corner here, corner there, corner here, and then a double over there, which I really have to figure out.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay. I can bolt these two together and use that bolt to hold the other side.
Fencing in the kids' garden mostly to keep the cats and the dog out, and the cats may try to climb, and I have a solution for that if that does happen in the future. But this will be really nice for them. They can also take, they've got pet bunnies that they can, you know, have run around their garden while they're out here supervising. It's going to be a fun space for them to hang out and be able to put things along the fence. I'm really excited. But we've never, in all the fencing that we've never done corner posts this way. We're not using actual posts. Everything else we've, you know, drilled down into the ground and secured the posts with concrete. This is a little bit different. The reason that we're doing things a little bit different back here is we do have our septic leach field. It's like right here. You can kind of see where the dead grass is, so we can't do a lot of digging, and it would be nice to be able to pull it up should we ever need to. So it's not a temporary solution, but it's not as, you know, permanent as digging a hole into the ground and potentially hitting the leach field. There are like tools that you can attach to the T-post and very easily put a second T-post up to it, but they're just expensive. So we're trying to save a little bit of money there. How's it going?
It's going. This top one's a little short. I probably could have stretched more of it out, but that's a pain in the butt.
So here's the corner and how it turned out. We've got the one that's bolted, but then he tied this one. So it's like the two ways to do it, and it is incredibly sturdy. As you can see, the T-post is butted up against this one, so you can imagine how strong that is. So what do you think of this bracing method overall?
I think it's going to be plenty effective, especially for a smaller area that doesn't have to be stretched super tight.
Yeah.
I think it's great. It does use a lot of T-posts though for a small area.
And T-posts are not cheap.
Right.
See, it looks like here he's put a bolt to kind of stop the T-post from going up, but then he just wired it on there. It's holding. Which side are you going to hang the door on? That one?
This side.
Oh, this side. Okay.
I think.
Good morning. I have been so bad about picking up the camera this week, and I want to apologize. I know you guys don't care, but I almost feel bad doing all kinds of things and not bringing you guys with me, but I've kind of been in like a mission mode, a springtime mission mode, and I think Jess at Roots and Refuge, she calls it hummingbird days, where she's just flitting around doing a whole bunch of things. That's been me this whole week. I've tried leaving you out with Levi to see the projects that he's doing, and we're gonna go out and look at more of what I've done. I just haven't taken you along for the actual process of that, and I'm sorry. I genuinely like to take you along with me, but I've just been doing a lot, and sometimes picking up the camera can stall my progress with things. And so today is actually my daughter Molly's birthday, and she wanted cinnamon rolls, so we made those this morning. If you have ever made the dinner roll or hamburger bun recipe from Ruth Ann Zimmerman, that's that dough. It came out really good, super fast. And I'm not sure if you noticed this behind me, but I have been making a ton of bone broth, and I did have one more pumpkin from the harvest last year that I canned up. So that's here. Saved the seeds out of that pumpkin. This is the last batch of seeds that I'll have on the website this year, at least early this year, before the planting season. We're growing in zone 7A, and our estimated last frost is around the 13th of April. Our estimated first frost is around the 3rd week of October, and I have planted this type of pumpkin. This is the Dutch fork pie pumpkin in May before and gotten a wonderful harvest. So it won't be too late by the time that I list these, at least for a lot of you. Our potatoes are starting to chit, which means they're getting their green bits on them, which is awesome. So I need to plant these soon. You tell them, buddy. I cleaned my shed out a little bit because I'm starting to use my big milker when I'm milking the girls now. I've weaned quite a lot of the babies, and so the mamas are making a lot of milk. And I have a 2-gallon canister that I like to use along with my small hand top milker, and I'll just dump from the hand top milker into the 2-gallon vessel, but they're making more than 2 gallons a day now. And this here is a 6-gallon canister. So that's good. I won't overflow that. Anywho, these are the dog treats that we put on the freeze dryer trays yesterday. They're almost done drying, but I think I'm gonna leave these in for an extra 12 hours. The first time I made the dog treats out of the feet and the ears, they did end up molding after a couple of weeks. Could have been, it probably was, that they were not fully dry. And so what I did was pierce the skin in more places to allow more of the moisture to escape. I'm gonna have this on a longer dry time, and when I go to store them, I am gonna store them a little bit better, maybe vacuum seal them with like a desiccant pack inside, but this will be next week. So yeah, there's the shed, relatively clean. I moved out my super sad key lime tree. This is kind of embarrassing to show you guys, but they tell me that citrus likes wet feet, and I have probably definitely neglected on watering her enough, and so I've given this a really great drenching. She doesn't have a lot of leaves in order to get sunburn, but I still stuck her up against the house, which is a lot more shaded, and will gradually bring her out into the full sun, and hopefully she bounces back. I did also buy some new plants that are also up against the house, trying to get a little bit more acclimated to full sun. This here is a coffee cake persimmon, and down here I have some raspberries. I actually placed an order for red raspberries, golden raspberries, some pawpaw trees, and that persimmon. The golden raspberry and the pawpaws aren't here yet. I spent some time kind of taming our wild blackberry patch. I like to have kind of a wild and crazy patch. It reminds me of the blackberry patch that I had at my childhood home, but obviously I can't let it take over my, woo, there's a wasp out here. But obviously I can't allow it to take over my entire yard and garden. So I'm starting to kind of pull out some of the more dead canes. This here's a dead cane. It's pretty obvious to tell the dead canes from the living canes, so this is part of my project. If I don't get to all the dead canes, that'll be okay. The new canes will come up through all that. But I've got this pile that needs to be taken to the burn barrel. We can get into the garden this way now. Looky here, guys. See, some people complain about my messy garden, but a lot of times these flowers are left behind because I go to weed them, and then I find things like this and I don't feel like weeding it anymore. Isn't she gorgeous? Stunning. So this isn't getting weeded today. I'll do it at some point. I actually need to clean this up too. A lot of people on the recent garden tour suggested that I have bee balm in the garden. And I guess I forget to show this to you guys the last couple garden tours, but I do have bee balm. It's right here. It's another thing that I have to come in and take the dead sticks and things out of. This is more elderberry getting out of hand. But yeah, I do have bee balm. And I also did have walking onions. This is what's left out of those. So I don't not have them, but I don't have as many as I used to have. The oregano is coming back. Beautiful. This has been here since 2019. I put one little oregano plant in that spot right there, and it's spread a little bit, as you can see. It's all right. Speaking of spreading, I did not plant this asparagus right here. My asparagus beds are right here, but they do go to seed, and I noticed that this had grown last year, and last year the fronds that were here were not large enough to pick, but this one is. Goodness, this elderberry sure got around, didn't it? I'm never weeding elderberry out of places until this year. Jerusalem artichokes are making their grand appearance. I've also started weeding this area over here just so it's going to be easier for us to clean up. This bed got ravaged by termites and then there was carpenter ants, and I just need to clean it up. It's going to be a work in progress. But I also wanted to free up some space because this is where my maypops should be coming back. I haven't noticed anything coming back yet. I don't really know how long it takes. Sometimes a certain length of time above a certain temperature before certain plants are triggered to come out of their dormancy. Those there for later. I did start some new sweet potatoes because my ones that I had frozen outside obviously died. But can you see those little wispy roots down below? Our sweet potatoes are well on their way. Don't see any green bits yet, but those are coming. The firs that we started tanning in the beginning of the video are done. I did work on these inside the house. I've worked with a lot of white firs in the past, and these aren't exactly black. They're like a dark brown, beautiful, but they're all done, ready to go. As far as apparel goes, the website does go through a little bit of a lull during the growing season because I don't have as much time to make things, but at least these are done and ready to make pom-poms out of later. Seems like we're gonna have another windy day today, which checks out for springtime. But the kids' garden is all done. We have ordered some hinges that we're going to be, attaching like a real gate to. But for now, they've put up this little panel here. But isn't this awesome? It's such a fun place. The other bunny is over here. Have you been enjoying hopping around? I can get him moved too. You don't want to come show them what you can do? Oh. He's scent marking everything. Is this your domain, sir? Yep, it sure is. The lane is all filled up, and I've been thinking about planting, but I keep chickening out because there's just one temperature in the near forecast. It's a little too close for comfort as far as a frost goes. But these beds have been filled for several days at this point, and it's been windy, it's been sunny, it's been hot, and there is no mulch up here, but it's not taking me very long to dig down and find moisture, which is really encouraging. This is the Near Organics raised bed soil, and while it looks kind of dry on top, an inch or two down, we definitely have moisture. I am going to be putting drip irrigation out here. That might be something I film for early next week. I get a lot of questions about installing drip irrigation, so I should probably have a dedicated video. Strawberries are flowering out here. Oh, we've got some zinnia coming up. I'm waiting on my dill. It looks like that little dill seedling is putting out a baby little root, so I'll just cover that so it doesn't dry out. And then these are the bachelor's buttons, and back here is where I put some squash. I think it's like a yellow zucchini. So things are happening over here. I've actually come in here to turn the fans back on. I shut them off yesterday. We live in the middle of agricultural farmland, and they use all the sprays on all the fields. And sometimes when they spray, we can get a measure of drift, and that drift can affect our plants. This greenhouse really does protect a lot, but if I have the fans on, the fans draw in the drift, and that's not good. Yeah, we're not getting huge broccoli heads this season, guys. It's all right. Do you know what that means? Plan B, that's what that means. I'll be harvesting a lot of this broccoli because it's time for it. I really didn't expect to be harvesting a lot of these beds until, you know, middle of May, early June. But those heads are ready, even though they're not big. They're starting to separate, so I'll be clearing this out and we'll put bush beans over here. The bush beans grow really fast. It's usually about 60 days before you're starting to harvest, and then we can get a good couple weeks of harvest before I have to replant these beds for the fall brassicas. Hey, sir. How's your snot situation? It's getting better, huh? Yep, it's getting better. Hi, Ruckus. Oh. Yes. Where's Bear Bear? Bear! Where's Bear? Huh? Oh, I just put my foot under Nefarious at the exact wrong time. If you know, you know. The hazards of not wearing boots, but sometimes it's too darn hot. Hey, sweet girl. Hi, I don't have treats. I know the boys want treats too. I need to find Bear. One time it was hard to find Feral, and he was stuck in some electric, it wasn't on, but it was like electric fence wire. Oh, I think I see him. They have 3 different houses that they can come to out here. These little pallet houses aren't necessarily maintained. Bear Bear! How you doing, buddy? Hey, sir! Come here! What's wrong? What's wrong? Are you okay? Oh, I forgot that was in here. He's at the mineral block. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just at the mineral block. They do have loose mineral in their big house, but you know, sometimes they like what they like, or sometimes it's empty. Oh, she's so desperate. Okay, we'll bring you a cookie. We found Bear. We'll bring you a cookie. Watch out. Quick, get it. Good girl. Yeah, she's like, I'm taller than you. You're so gentle, Chloe. You're so gentle. No, you're not. You're kind of scary, honestly. That was pretty good. When Levi got the T-posts for the kids' garden, he also got enough so we can do a permanent fence here for our wiener pen. So that's going to be really nice. Hey, can we come see these babies in here? How is everyone this morning? Yes, I still have cookies in my pocket. Maybe that was a bad choice. Can you get it? Quick. Aunt Helicity got it. I like your strategy. It's much like Lufa's strategy, but you're not fast enough. Hey, AJ. Cute little long ears sold, so that's good. All right. That's all. It's the crumbs. That's it. We are now in April, which is the start of the real big goat pickup time. The Nigerians are, I think they're all leaving this month, and a lot of the babies. So I have a full barn right now, but it won't be this full for very long at all. I think the only boys that are out here still are Red's boys, who are right here, and then Melee's boys, there's one here, and then AJ is right here, and then Elpis's little boys right here. Oh, here's Tizzy. Hi, Tizzy. We're just looking at the boys, seeing who's left, huh? Melee's two are not quite 6 weeks, but I'm watching them closely for evidence that they need to be weaned. And then Elpis's boy is going on our meat program, so he'll be banded and he'll probably stay out here with this herd. What are you doing, Stella? No, you girls are too much. I did not bring enough cookies. Did not. That's okay. They'll get more cookies when it comes time for milking, which is just a few hours away. For now, I'm gonna go inside, finish editing this after I clean off my foot. I'll see you guys again soon.